A guy was shot. This is one of the Carrie. This is one of those. It's like, again, just revealing about the mentality of the people that want to riot. So over the weekend, there was in Lancaster, they smashed windows of cars and smashed windows into a police station, attacked a police station, lit fires, general rioting because a cop killed a guy. Of course, a black guy. So, but there's body cam footage of this. The guy, maybe see, I might even have the guy literally. This is one of those things where it's like I don't know how dumb people have to be, but okay. So I'm gonna show you a picture, and I'm gonna describe what was happening.
Okay.
So here's the guy that was killed. This is a long kitchen knife being held in his hand here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but you can see it on the video. This is body cam footage. So 911 received a call. The caller said that her brother was reportedly becoming aggressive with his mother and attempting to break into her house. A cop showed up. He goes to the door. A woman opens the door. He talks to her. And then this dude bolts out of the house, wielding a knife, running after the cop, waving his knife at the cop, screaming at him. So the cop runs away. But the cop wasn't running fast enough and turned around and shot this guy before he actually stabbed him with this knife here. It's a long, wow. You can see it's a long kitchen knife. That's what they're rioting over. That's this asshole who is dead is the guy that they're rioting over. This asshole.
Wow.
This guy.
I can't believe that.
Yes.
I mean, I can. But look at that picture. That says everything. And they're rioting. This is like that example we talked about a few weeks ago of the guy who took a machete into a laundromat and started hacking women.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then ran out in the street and the cops were pursuing him. And a crowd of protesters tried to interfere and tried to stop the cops from arresting him.
Yep.
Not knowing what he had done. But that's the whole point. You don't know what the people have done. And then in retrospect, when you do know, you're still out there in the streets trying to justify this. You know, you can look at this photo and still try to justify what you're doing. Because the thing is, they have so few, the narrative they're selling is a lie. There are not very many black people, or white people for that matter, killed unarmed by police in awful, unjustified situations every year. There's just not. You could count on one hand, I'm sure, how many were, because even the number of unarmed, I think it was 9 unarmed black men in 2019, and the number for white men was higher. But even within those numbers, if you look at the individual situations, which we should find the link, but there was a news article I read where they went through every situation of an unarmed person being killed in 2019. Once you hear the context, you're like, oh, well, it makes sense why that escalated into lethal force. Right. So some of those even are justified. And so the numbers are so small that they don't have anything to prop up this false narrative with. So if something like this happens with a guy with a knife trying to attack a police officer, or the guy with the machete, they will take it. They'll take it because they don't have enough examples.
Well, they don't care. This is the evidence that they just don't care. They just want to riot. They just want to tear the system down. And so whatever, they don't, this isn't about, this is why when you said that Hitler used the term social justice the same way, I was thinking to myself, yeah, because there's only one way to use the term social justice. Like, if you're not talking about this crap, you use the word justice. Justice is what's applied to individuals. Social justice is what's used to undermine actual justice and apply it to some stupid political social movement that you want to do that justifies violence for whatever your means are. That's what social justice is. Granted, I get that it was invented by a Catholic priest and whatever I get that. But social justice is a corruption of the word justice. That's all it is. So, of course, it's going to be used this way because that's the only way to use it. No one has to say, this person stole my wallet and I would like it back, therefore I want social justice. No, that's just justice. When you do things that are wrong and you pay for them, that's just justice. That's not social justice. The whole concept's not even
It's how
necessary.
Notice how they put modifiers in front of sometimes in words they're trying to corrupt, they use modifiers, and so they
All
will.
the time.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the knitters know that on when the social justice like blossomed and just basically exploded in the online world, they started using radical kindness to mean bullying and harassment
Mhm.
and name calling and calling people things that they're not to harass them and intimidate them. They started calling people Nazis and white nationalists and all these things, and they were harassing them and going after their business and trying to get their businesses closed. And they called this radical kindness. Hey, if it were about kindness, as you're to your point, Carter, you don't need to put radical in front of it.
They're big on adjectives,
Yeah,
right? Because adjectives can change.
yeah,
It's just it's how you make a neologism that sounds good, but it is covers for whatever else it is that you want, right? And so
yeah.
um, there you go. That's what they do.